Welcome to episode 54 of KinFit. I'm Michael.
I'm Tiffany, and today is a beautiful sunny day here in Westmount Park.
Finally, beautiful weather.
I know. All right, so let's get on to Fit News. So what's happening in Fit News this week?
Well, for those of you living in Montreal, you might have noticed that the city was installing Bixi stations lately. Well, since last week, they've started installing Bixi bikes as well. So Bixi's official second year has started. So if you want to go, grab a Bixi now. Some updates though for the second year of operation. If you register or you subscribe before May 15th, the annual subscription is $10 off. So instead of being $78, it's down to $68. And another update was that they actually updated their map webpage. They optimized it for your mobile phone. So if you're just walking down the street one day and you wanted to check, grab a Bixi bike, but you weren't too sure where the closest station was, or if there were any bikes at the closest station, you can just turn on your mobile phone, on your browser, go to stations.bixi.com, and you actually get real-time feedback on the amount of bikes and docks available at that station.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, go grab a Bixi bike.
All right, so on my end, interesting study from Columbia University just revealed that a diet rich in olive oil, nuts, fish, poultry, and fruits and vegetables will lower your risk of contracting Alzheimer's disease by about 40%. So they did this study on over 2,000 participants over a 4-year period. So this was really interesting and very encouraging. So I think we definitely should check it out, and we'll have the link up for you to read the whole article.
Yeah. And last little bit of news is for all you new runners out there. If you're thinking of learning how to run or thinking of starting a running program this summer, you can actually check out a running clinic by the McGill Society of Montreal. It's actually going to be held at on Mount Royal. The running clinic is basically going to cover the techniques that you require for to run well. They're also going to go over what you need to wear, so equipment, and also what type of warm-up you should do before you run. It's going to be held on May 8th, so that is a Saturday. Pre-registration has already started, so it's between April 13th to May 7th. There is a maximum of 20 participants, so if you're really interested, I suggest you register now, and the fee is $20.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, and that'll be it for Fit News this week.
On this week's Fit Tip, we're going to take a look at the push-up. Now, the push-up is a good exercise to work out the muscles around your chest, but it's not specifically just for the chest muscles. It's also a good exercise to work out your shoulders, your triceps, your abs, your back, your glutes, and your legs, because all these muscles have to be stabilized, have to be rigid, so that you can actually perform the push-up properly. Now, when you get into your push-up position, you want to make sure your hands are in the proper spot. Now, the most common mistake is that your hands are too wide apart, and that when you do your push-up, you will feel mostly the workout in your arms and not your chest. Now, the placement of the hands is shoulder width apart, okay? So that when you do go into your push-up position, you actually feel most of the work in your chest. Second thing to take note of is that you want to make sure that your legs are in line with your spine. Okay, so when you actually go down your push-up, you don't want to have a little hump of your butt pointing up towards the air. Also, you want to make sure that the placement of the feet is at the right spot as well. You want to make sure your feet are about hip width apart, okay, not too wide and not too narrow. If it's too narrow, you'll find that your balance is a little bit off, so just a little bit at hip width. Now, if you're unable to do proper push-ups, there is a modified way. The other way is on your knees, but the same principle applies when you're doing them on your knees. You want to make sure that your hands are about shoulder width apart, and that when you do go down your push-up, the top of your thighs are still in line with your spine, and there's no hump in your butt pointing up towards the sky. So these are little tips that you want to take note of when you do your push-ups, and that wraps up this week's Fit Tip.
So on today's information, I'm going to talk a little bit about the tiny yet powerful blueberry. So these blueberries are usually in season about May to September, October-ish, and these little tiny fruits are absolutely packed with a lot of antioxidants and nutrients, so it's definitely worthwhile to go pick some up in a couple of weeks. Now, what makes it so special is that so many studies have just shown that the benefits from blueberries range anywhere from decreasing cancer risks to enhancing memory. So I think it's definitely worthwhile. Now, when you pick your blueberries, make sure that you pick ones that are firm and uniform in color with sort of a slightly whitish bloom. The bloom is the little bit of a waxy covering over the skin, and it protects it from going bad. Now, when you pick up the container and you shake it, they should move freely and well. So that means they're pretty fresh. If they don't move well, or they're kind of stuck together in a clump, that means that they've softened and maybe have started to go bad. Now, make sure also when you wash them, that means you're ready to eat them. Don't wash them until then, because otherwise you're going to wash off the bloom and it will probably go bad in about a day or so. All right, so I hope you guys go all out and pick up some blueberries in a couple of weeks and try them out. that'll be it for information this week.
So this wraps up this week's KinFit.
Please check back our show notes for all the pieces of information we want you to find out more about.
And if you have any ideas, suggestions, or questions you want to ask us, just send them to us at info@kinfit.tv.
Big thank you goes out to Vincent for doing all those push-ups today.
So remember, don't quit.
Stay fit. So what's happening in Fit News this week?
Well, I don't know.
Nice.